Let's cut through the fluff.
If you're broke right now, it's not because you weren't born rich. It's not because the system is fully against you. And it's definitely not because money is only for the lucky. The brutal truth? Most people stay poor because they follow the exact same script the world has been feeding them since childhood. Go to school, get a job, work hard, save a little, retire someday.
Sounds safe, right?
But here's the problem. It's a trap. 99% of people are sprinting on a hamster wheel, thinking they're making progress when they're just burning energy and going nowhere. And if you're nodding right now like, that's not me, I promise, it probably is, because the signs are subtle, sneaky, and built into your daily habits. Stick around, because I am about to expose 5 brutal reasons why most people stay broke for life, and how you can avoid being part of that 99%. Here's the uncomfortable reality. You keep doing things that feel smart with money, but are actually making you poorer. You save a little here, spend a little there, maybe even invest once in a while, and you tell yourself you're being responsible. But deep down, nothing changes. Why? Because you're following myths, not truths. Take this one. Work hard and money will follow. Sounds noble, but it's wrong. Hard work without smart leverage just makes you tired, not rich. Or this gem. Save every penny and don't take risks. Guess what? Inflation eats those pennies while the wealthy multiply their money through calculated risks. This isn't about hating on people who struggle. It's about pulling back the curtain on the habits, mindsets, and blind spots that keep 99% trapped. And in today's world, where opportunities are exploding and technology gives us leverage like never before, it's more dangerous than ever to stay blind. So here's what we're going to do.
I'll walk you through 5 savage truths, 5 reasons people stay broke.
Each one will hurt a little because you'll probably recognize yourself in them, but each one also comes with a way out. By the end, you'll know exactly what separates the 99% from the 1%. The question is, will you do something about it? Reason number 1, trading time for money. If your only source of income depends on you showing up, clocking in, logging hours, doing the grind, you're trapped.
Why? Because time is limited.
You can't work 25 hours a day and you can't scale yourself. That's why even the hardest workers often stay broke. I remember my first job. Long hours, constant stress, and just enough money to survive.
I told myself I was hustling, but in reality I was stuck.
The wealthy? They play a different game. They build systems, assets, and businesses that make money even while they sleep. A study from the National Bureau of Economic Research shows that wealth inequality isn't driven by income differences, it's driven by asset ownership. Translation: the rich own things that pay them. The poor rent their lives away. Start small. Build one stream of income that doesn't require your daily presence. It could be digital products, investments, or even a side hustle with automation. Break the time for money curse. Reason number 2, living to impress instead of build. Here's a harsh truth. Most people stay broke because they buy things to look rich instead of investing to become rich. You want the new phone, the fancy car, the branded clothes, because society sold you the lie that appearance equals success. I've been there. I once financed a car I couldn't afford just to keep up with friends. It felt good for a month. Then the bills hit, and suddenly I was broke, but driving in style. That's not wealth. That's slavery in disguise. Research backs this up. Studies in behavioral economics show that status spending is a top factor keeping middle-class families from building long-term wealth. Meanwhile, the truly wealthy? They're invisible. They're not flashing cash, they're stacking assets. Before every purchase, ask, does this make me money or cost me money? If it only drains your account, delay it. Build wealth first, flex later. Reason number 3, fear of risk, love of comfort. Comfort is the killer of ambition. Most people cling to safe jobs, safe savings, safe routines, because risk feels terrifying. But guess what? Staying safe is the riskiest move of all. Inflation eats your savings, industries collapse, and suddenly your secure plan is worth nothing. I learned this when I watched co-workers who had been loyal to the same company for decades get laid off overnight. They had no backup, no side hustle, no investments, just fear. The reality? Playing it safe kept them broke. According to a Harvard Business Review study, calculated risk takers are more likely to achieve upward mobility than those who avoid risk entirely. The wealthy don't gamble blindly, they take educated risks that push them forward. Start by taking one small, calculated risk this month. Invest in a skill. Launch a mini project. Test something outside your comfort zone. Growth never comes from standing still. Reason number 4, consuming more than creating scroll. Swipe, watch, buy, repeat. That's the cycle keeping millions stuck. You consume content, entertainment, and products all day, but rarely create anything of value. And wealth only flows to creators. I fell into this trap when I spent hours studying business videos online, but never launched anything myself.
I thought learning was enough.
But until you put something out into the world, a product, a service, a skill, you're just a spectator. Data from Statista shows that only a tiny fraction of people online create original content, while the rest consume. Guess who makes the money? The creators. Platforms pay them, audiences follow them, opportunities chase them. The rest just watch. Shift 1 hour a day from consumption to creation. Write, build, design, teach, sell, anything. Wealth flows to producers, not consumers. Reason number 5, never upgrading. Their mindset. This is the most dangerous one. Most people stay broke because they refuse to challenge how they think about money. They say things like, money is evil. Rich people are greedy. Or, I'll never get ahead. Congratulations, you've already lost. I grew up hearing those exact lines, and for years I believed them. Then I realized they were just excuses, mental walls built to justify staying small. Once I changed my mindset to see money as a tool, everything shifted. Psychologists call this a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Those who believe intelligence and wealth are fixed stay trapped. Those who believe they can learn and adapt, they build wealth over time. Rewrite your money script. Replace I can't with how can I. Every time your brain throws a limitation, respond with a solution. That mental rewiring is the first step to freedom. Here's the fork in the road. Most people will keep doing the same things, trading time for money, spending to impress, playing it safe, consuming instead of creating, and clinging to limiting beliefs. That's the path of the 99%, the wrong path. But then there's you. You've seen behind the curtain. You know the traps now. And you know that every safe choice is just another step into lifelong poverty. Here's the savage truth. Wealth isn't about luck. It's about breaking patterns. Most will never do it. But the one who does, that's the 1%. So ask yourself, are you going to stay part of the crowd or step out and claim your spot at the table? So remember, people stay broke not because they're doomed, but because they follow habits that guarantee it. They trade time for money, they buy to impress, they fear risks, they consume more than they create, and they trap themselves in a fixed mindset. If you break even one of these cycles, you start separating from the 99%. Break all 5? You'll never worry about being average again. Let's close the loop. This isn't about money itself. It's about freedom, choice, and control. The poor chase survival. The wealthy chase growth. Now the only question left is, which chase are you choosing? Now I want to hear from you.
Which of these 5 truths hit you the hardest?
Was it the grind of trading time for money? The temptation to look rich instead of be rich? The fear of risk? The endless consumption? Or the mindset that holds you back before you even start? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be reading. And if this video gave you the slap of reality you needed, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more unfiltered breakdowns like this. Not the sugar-coated nonsense the world feeds you, but the actual playbook for escaping the 99%. Here's my savage sign-off. Staying poor is easy.
Escaping it takes guts.
99% will never do it. But if you're still watching right now, you just proved you might be part of the 1%.